There is a plant growing in sidewalk cracks across 6 continents right now, and it contains more omega-3 fatty acids than any leafy green ever measured. It produces 6 antioxidant compounds that published research links directly to slower collagen breakdown in human skin. You have probably pulled it from your own yard and thrown it away. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly what this plant is, what it does to aging skin from the inside out, and how to grow a permanent supply for free. This is Secrets Beneath Nature. One plant, one single species growing wild in every country where humans live. It contains the highest omega-3 concentration of any leafy vegetable ever tested. Not comparable, not close, the highest. It produces glutathione, the compound that dermatologists and researchers call the master antioxidant of human skin. It contains melatonin at levels that laboratory studies confirm protect skin cells from ultraviolet radiation damage at the cellular level. And it grows without irrigation, without fertilization, and without any human attention in gravel, in sand, in compacted dirt, and in the cracks between pavement slabs across every inhabited continent on Earth. The global skincare industry generates over $180 billion every year. Anti-aging creams, retinol serums, collagen peptide powders, hyaluronic acid injections, glutathione IV drips, entire supply chains built around reversing what this one plant prevents for free. 30 years of published clinical research, peer-reviewed journals, named researchers, specific compounds measured to the milligram, and still most people in North America and Europe have never been told this plant exists. The plant is purslane, Portulaca oleracea. If you garden, you know it. You just did not know you knew it. It is the flat, succulent-leafed plant with thick reddish stems that creeps along the ground in your flower beds, your driveway edges, your vegetable rows. It hugs the soil. It spreads outward in a starburst pattern. The leaves are small, smooth, and slightly waxy. They look like tiny jade paddles. You have seen it. You have pulled it, you have thrown it in the compost bin or the trash bag and gone back to watering the plants you paid money for. 500 million people across the globe eat it regularly. In Mexico, they call it verdolaga. In France, pourpier. In India, kulfa. In China, machixian. In Greece, glistrida. In Turkey, semizotu. In the Middle East, bakla. One plant, dozens of names. Every culture that maintained a relationship with the land kept eating it. Every culture that industrialized its food system forgot it existed. The United States Department of Agriculture lists purslane as a common weed in all 50 states. It is the 8th most common plant on the planet. It appears in the pharmacopoeias of Chinese medicine, Greek folk medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, and Mexican traditional healing. Documentation spanning 1,500 years across 4 distinct medical traditions. While purslane had been studied in European labs for decades, it wasn't until Dr. Artemis Simopoulos published her landmark 1992 study in the Journal of the American College of Nutrition that mainstream Western medicine was forced to reckon with this weed's staggering nutritional density. That paper documented what Asian and Mediterranean cultures had known for centuries. This weed was one of the most nutritionally dense leafy greens on Earth. The delay was not accidental. Research follows funding. Funding follows patents. You cannot patent a plant that grows in sidewalk cracks. You cannot build a quarterly earnings report around a crop that self-seeds and never needs replanting. The system did not suppress purslane. It simply never had a financial reason to look at it. Now let us look at what the science actually found, because what purslane does to aging skin is not one mechanism, it is 6. 6 distinct compounds, each targeting a different biochemical pathway involved in wrinkle formation, collagen loss, and premature aging. No other single leafy green delivers all 6. The first is omega-3 fatty acids. The Simopoulos study in 1992 measured 300 to 400 milligrams of alpha-linolenic acid per 100 grams of fresh purslane leaves. Alpha-linolenic acid is the plant form of omega-3. It is a precursor to EPA and DHA, the same fatty acids found in fish oil. These fatty acids maintain the lipid matrix between skin cells. Think of the lipid matrix as the mortar between bricks in a wall. When the mortar weakens, the wall cracks. When the lipid barrier in your skin weakens, moisture escapes, elasticity drops, and the structural integrity of the skin surface begins to collapse. That collapse is the biochemical definition of aging skin. The fish oil supplement industry generates $4 billion annually selling omega-3 for exactly this purpose. Capsules, soft gels, liquid concentrates, cold chain shipping from processing plants to pharmacy shelves. Purslane delivers the same foundational fatty acid from a handful of leaves pulled from a garden bed. No capsule, no factory, no middleman, but omega-3 is only the first layer. The second compound in this plant is what dermatologists spend entire careers trying to deliver to skin cells: glutathione. Purslane is one of the richest known dietary sources of glutathione, a tripeptide molecule that functions as the primary internal defense system against oxidative damage inside skin cells. In 2004, the Journal of Investigative Dermatology published a comprehensive review of glutathione's role in skin biology. The findings were specific. Glutathione neutralizes reactive oxygen species before they can damage collagen fibers and elastin networks. It protects fibroblasts, the cells responsible for manufacturing new collagen. And when glutathione levels drop inside skin tissue, the rate of visible aging accelerates measurably. Wrinkles deepen, skin sags, hyperpigmentation spreads. Walk into any high-end dermatology clinic in Los Angeles or New York or London right now. You will see glutathione offered as an intravenous drip, $30 to $300 per session. You will see it sold in oral supplement capsules on the shelves of health food stores. You will find it listed as a key ingredient in anti-aging serums priced at $70 to $200 per ounce. Purslane delivers it in every bite. No needle, no capsule, no receipt, omega-3 for the barrier, glutathione for the cells. The third compound does something most people associate with sleep, not skin: melatonin. Most people know melatonin as a sleep hormone. What most people do not know is that melatonin functions as one of the most potent ultraviolet damage scavengers ever studied in human skin. A researcher named Russell Hardelin published foundational work in the Journal of Pineal Research beginning in 2005. Subsequent studies expanded the evidence. In 2018, the International Journal of Molecular Sciences published a study confirming that melatonin protects keratinocytes, the primary cells of the skin's outer layer, from UV-induced oxidative death. This matters because ultraviolet radiation is the single largest external cause of premature skin aging. Dermatologists call it photoaging. Research estimates that up to 90% of visible aging in sun-exposed skin is caused by cumulative UV damage, not genetics, not time, sun exposure. Melatonin in purslane provides internal photoprotection. It operates at the cellular level, scavenging the free radicals generated by UV exposure before they can destroy collagen and elastin. A biological sunscreen that works from the inside. 3 compounds, 3 distinct mechanisms targeting 3 different aspects of skin aging, and we have not touched the pigment that gives this plant its color. Look at the stems of a purslane plant. They are reddish purple. That color is not decorative. It comes from a class of antioxidant compounds called betalains. In 2012, a research team led by M.K. Udine published a study in food chemistry analyzing the betalain content of purslane. They found that purslane betalains exhibit antioxidant activity comparable to or exceeding that of beet-derived betalains. What makes betalains specific to skin aging is their molecular target. Betalains scavenge peroxyl radicals. Peroxyl radicals are the specific radical species most responsible for lipid peroxidation of cell membranes. And lipid peroxidation of cell membranes is one of the core biochemical processes underlying visible wrinkle formation. The color of the stem is the medicine. The 5th compound is beta-carotene. Purslane contains roughly 7 times the beta-carotene of carrots when measured per calorie of fresh weight. Beta-carotene is a provitamin A compound that accumulates in skin tissue over time with consistent dietary intake. A 2008 meta-analysis published in Photochemistry and Photobiology reviewed multiple controlled trials and concluded that dietary beta-carotene supplementation reduces UV-induced erythema, which is sunburn, by approximately 20% after 10 weeks of consistent intake. Combined with melatonin, this gives purslane a dual internal photoprotection mechanism. No other single leafy green provides both. The sixth compound is vitamin E, specifically alpha-tocopherol. Purslane's concentration ranks among the highest of any leafy green ever measured. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition has published multiple studies establishing alpha-tocopherol as the primary lipid-soluble antioxidant in human skin. Its specific function in preventing skin aging is well documented. Vitamin E acts as a powerful lipid-soluble antioxidant, helping protect cell membranes from the oxidative damage that accelerates collagen breakdown and skin stiffness over time. Vitamin E also works synergistically with vitamin C, which purslane also contains at 21 milligrams per 100 grams. Together, these two vitamins regenerate each other's antioxidant capacity. One protects lipids, the other protects water-soluble compartments. Together, they create a recycling loop of protection that extends the functional lifespan of both compounds inside skin tissue. 6 compounds, 6 distinct mechanisms. Omega-3 fatty acids maintaining the lipid barrier between cells, glutathione neutralizing free radicals inside the cells, melatonin scavenging UV damage at the keratinocyte level, beta-lanes targeting the specific radical species that destroys cell membranes, beta-carotene accumulating in skin tissue as an internal sunscreen, vitamin E preventing the collagen cross-linking that creates permanent wrinkles, all 6 present in one plant. A plant that grows without permission in sidewalk cracks, not one synthetic ingredient, not one patent, not one product to sell, and that is exactly the problem. The global anti-aging skincare market exceeded $180 billion in 2024. Within that market, omega-3 supplements, glutathione products, vitamin E serums, beta-carotene capsules, and melatonin formulations each occupy their own revenue category. Each generates billions independently. Each requires extraction, processing, formulation, packaging, marketing, distribution, and retail markup. Purslane consolidates all 6 into a single free plant. No extraction facility, no encapsulation line, no cold chain logistics, no shelf life to manage, no profit margin to protect. A consumer who grows purslane in a $5 pot on a balcony eliminates the need for 5 separate product categories simultaneously. Search PubMed right now. Type retinol skin aging into the search bar. You will find thousands of funded studies. Now type purslane skin aging. You will find a fraction. The ratio tells you everything. This is not because retinol works better. This is because retinol is patentable. Retinol formulations can be branded, trademarked, and sold at premium markups. A sidewalk weed cannot. Pharmaceutical companies fund research that supports products they can sell. They do not fund research that makes their products unnecessary. Universities pursue grants from available funding sources. The available sources favor patentable interventions. A self-seeding plant that grows in gravel is not a patentable intervention. The Semopolis study was published in 1992. In a respected, peer-reviewed journal, it documented the highest omega-3 content in any leafy vegetable. 33 years have passed. Purslane still does not appear in a single mainstream Western dietary guideline. It is not mentioned in the USDA food pyramid. It is not recommended by any major dermatological association. It is not featured in any consumer-facing health publication with national distribution. This is not conspiracy. This is structure. Economic systems amplify what generates revenue. They do not amplify what makes revenue unnecessary. But while Western systems looked the other way, most of the world never stopped eating it. Walk through any open-air market in Oaxaca, Mexico on a Saturday morning. You will see bundles of verdolaga stacked between the tomatoes and the cilantro. Mexican grandmothers have cooked it with pork and tomatillos for generations. Verdolagas con carne de puerco, a dish that predates every anti-aging serum on any department store shelf by centuries. The women selling it do not call it a superfood, they call it dinner. In Athens, tavernas serve glistrita in salads dressed with olive oil and lemon. In Istanbul, semizotu appears in yogurt dishes served alongside grilled lamb. Mediterranean diet researchers spent decades studying why Greek and Turkish populations showed lower rates of chronic disease. They credited olive oil, fish, and vegetables. They rarely mentioned the purslane that accompanied almost every meal. In rural Rajasthan, India, women harvest kulfa from the edges of wheat fields. They cook it with cumin and green chilies. In Ayurvedic medical texts, kulfa appears as a treatment for skin eruptions, burns, and inflammatory conditions. The documentation is centuries old. The practice is ongoing. In Hunan Province, China, traditional medicine practitioners have prescribed maqi xian for skin conditions since at least the year 500. The Bencao Gang Mu, the Compendium of Materia Medica, completed by Li Shizhen in 1578, documents purslane's applications for eczema, boils, and wound healing. That text was written 447 years ago. Chinese medicine shops still stock dried purslane on open shelves today. In Lebanon and Jordan and Palestine, bakla appears in fattoush salads and as a cooked green alongside rice and lentils. Families eat it weekly. Children grow up with the taste. The pattern is the same in every case. Cultures that maintained a relationship with the land never lost this plant. They never needed a study to tell them it was valuable. They ate it because their grandmothers ate it. Their grandmothers ate it because their grandmothers ate it. The knowledge transferred through kitchens, not journals. The cultures that lost purslane are the cultures that paved over their gardens, outsourced their food to factories, and replaced the plants they could grow with the products they could buy. You can reverse that in one afternoon. Purslane grows in USDA hardiness zones 2 through 11. That covers the entire continental United States, most of Canada south of the boreal forest, all of Western Europe, and equivalent climates on every other continent. If you are alive and reading this in a place where humans live, purslane can grow where you are. It tolerates drought. It tolerates poor soil. It tolerates compacted ground. It tolerates full sun. It tolerates neglect. These are not the characteristics of a delicate garden crop. These are the characteristics of a survival plant. Buy a packet of seeds for $2 to $4. Sow them directly into any soil after the last frost date in your area. Scatter them on the surface and press gently. Purslane seeds need light to germinate, so do not bury them. Water lightly for the first week. Germination takes 7 to 10 days. The plants reach harvest size in 3 to 4 weeks, or skip the seeds entirely. If you see purslane growing in a crack, in a neglected garden bed, or along a fence line, take a cutting. A single stem segment placed in moist soil will root within days. This plant wants to grow. Your job is to stop pulling it out and start harvesting it. If you allow some plants to flower in late summer, they will produce thousands of tiny black seeds. Those seeds drop to the soil. 85% of them germinate the following spring. One planting becomes a permanent annual crop. The plant returns every year without your permission. You never buy seeds again. Grow it in the ground. Grow it in a raised bed. Grow it in a $5 pot on an apartment balcony. Grow it in a window box. It does not care about your setup. It cares about sunlight and a handful of dirt. Harvest leaves and tender stems throughout the growing season. Eat them raw in salads. The flavor is mild, slightly lemony, with a succulent crunch. Blend them into smoothies with banana or mango to mask any tartness. Sauté them with garlic and olive oil the way Greek grandmothers have done for centuries. Add them to soups and stews the way Mexican families do every week. Pickle the stems in vinegar for year-round preservation. Dry the leaves and store them for winter use as a tea or as reconstituted greens. For topical use, crush fresh leaves and apply them directly to irritated or inflamed skin. This is the method documented in Chinese and Ayurvedic tradition for over 1,000 years. The mucilaginous compounds in purslane create a cooling, hydrating film on the skin's surface. You can also blend fresh leaves into a simple salve using coconut oil or olive oil as a base. But understand this clearly. The deepest skin benefits come from eating purslane consistently, not from applying it externally. The omega-3, the glutathione, the melatonin, the beta-carotene, the vitamin E. These compounds work from within. They reach skin cells through your bloodstream after digestion. The real skincare routine is the salad. One safety note: purslane contains oxalates, similar to spinach. If you have a history of kidney stones, speak with a physician before consuming large quantities regularly, and confirm your identification before harvesting wild purslane. There is a plant called spurge that grows in similar locations. The difference is easy to spot. Purslane has thick, smooth, succulent leaves and clear sap in its stems. Spurge has thin, non-succulent leaves and produces a milky white sap when you snap a stem. Break the stem. If white liquid appears, it is not purslane. Walk away. Purslane is not the only plant growing in plain sight with published scientific evidence for skin health. There are others: plantain, chickweed, red clover, burdock, violet leaf. Each one grows wild. Each one has peer-reviewed research behind its traditional uses. Each one costs nothing. And each one has been dismissed as a weed by the same systems that sell you the expensive alternatives. The science is published. The studies exist. The compounds are measured and documented in journals anyone can access. The most effective anti-aging intervention for human skin does not require a prescription. It does not require a serum. It does not require a supplement or a credit card. It requires recognizing that the plant growing in a sidewalk crack contains 6 compounds that each independently slow the biochemical processes of skin aging. And together, they do what no single product on any store shelf has ever achieved. The skincare industry profits from complexity. This plant offers simplicity. It never hid. It grew in every driveway, every neglected garden bed, every crack in the pavement. For decades, we called it a weed and pulled it out. The wrinkles formed anyway.